Okay, I do apologize, but my laptop, I updated it today and it's just acting funny. I don't know if any other Mac owners, I don't know if y'all having problems, but I had to restart my laptop. So I'm gonna wait for people to get in here. Hey everyone. Okay. This is going to be another late bloomer conversation. So hopefully you're excited. And this late bloomer conversation can be a 50-year-old woman. I have not watched this interview. So I only saw a clip go viral on my Instagram. So I don't really know what this interview is going to be about. But I don't know. I get this odd feeling like it's going to have a lot to do with choosing yourself way later in life when you should have chosen yourself way earlier in life. And I think that's what this conversation is about, but I'm not really sure. Hopefully the title fits. If not, I'll have to change it later. But I really think this is about choosing yourself and putting yourself first, taking your power back after dealing with a toxic man, and really truly focusing on yourself. Speaking up for yourself as well. I have on blue. Blue is all about the throat chakra. Oh my God, I'm funny, but I'm so serious. Thank you for the compliments. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. Okay. And I got some late bloomer. I got some late bloomer photos that I came across today, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm gonna have to share them with y'all. They're kind of embarrassing though. They are super embarrassing, but you know, pray for growth. You know, it's okay to pray for growth. People pray for materialism and things like that, but don't forget to pray for growth, enlightenment. Don't forget to pray for that type of stuff. But let's get into my intro. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it. Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of. Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you. Okay, did y'all hear my intro? Because I didn't hear it. Did y'all hear it? Yes? Okay. Okay. Because I'm like, I didn't hear it. Y'all, there's some weird stuff going on this side. That's why I got to double check with y'all to make sure everything's good. Okay. Because this weird stuff going on. Is it a retrograde? Let me double check my sound. Okay, my sound is good. Everything's good. I don't know why. Normally when the intro plays, I can hear it too. But I wasn't hearing anything. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. So let's get into Auntie Mary, okay, and her interview that she did with Angie Martinez. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, you know, I'm not really the biggest Angie Martinez fan, but like she had that one hit back in the day when I was like in middle school or a freshman in high school. and I forget what it's called, but I love that song by her. But lately, Angie Martinez, she has bringing certain topics to her platform that I just really strongly resonate with. So I the conversation that she is bringing to her platform, I really do. I'm trying to find the song, y'all, because I'm like, what song was she known for? Somebody said Angie you. Oh, I'm trying to find it. She did, I think, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. She has music. Why y'all being shady? Y'all being shady. Y'all being shady. I don't know. Or maybe it wasn't her song. Maybe it was Jay-Z. Did she have a song with Jay-Z? Now I gotta find it. Uh did she have a song with Jay-Z? Or was that J-Lo? I may have gotten the wrong Latina mixed up. I was that Lil Kim? Okay, maybe not, y'all. I'm very loud and wrong. Maybe not. Okay, well, if you didn't know, Angie Martinez, she was an artist. She was an artist. And this is how her and Mary J are good friends. Girl, because I'm looking at her music, I'm like, none of these songs stick out to me. So no shade, but anyway, she doing big things with her podcast. I will give her that. Like, I love the conversations that she's bringing on her podcast. I try to give compliments and stuff when I talk about people, and I'm like, oh girl, I'm very loud and wrong with that one. So scratch that. But I do like her podcast. I swear I'm not trying to be shady. I thought she had a song that was real popping back in the day, but I guess not. I got her confused with somebody else. That's embarrassing. But she does have music. So that's how her and Mary J know each other. But Angie is also, isn't she like a DJ? She's a DJ. That's how she got her name on the scene as a DJ. That's how she knows Mary J. She also did some music as well. Y'all are shady. Okay, let me refresh because this has been a slow day. I don't know what's going on. It has been a slow day on the YouTube here. Everything keeps buffering. I don't understand. StreamYard, are we just down today? Like, what's tea? It's so slow, y'all.
It's just a soundbite or something. Like you learn how to love yourself, but it's a real.
Okay. Ugh, I already love this conversation with just that snippet there. Okay, let me make the screen bigger. Can you guys see it? Okay, you guys can see it. Y'all being real disrespectful. Listen, she's a DJ, radio host. Okay, she started her own podcast. So, congratulations to her for that. Because I haven't even started my own podcast. Oh my God, y'all, this is a mess. And I checked my connection. It's saying it's strong. I don't understand. Let me check my internet speed on my phone. I didn't think to try that. Don't be having me waste my hair and my makeup. What is going on? Yeah, like it's saying it's good. Are y'all seeing it? Y'all seeing what I'm dealing with on my side? Okay.
So good, and I worked for it, and I earned it, and I have to keep.
Okay. There we go. Trying to start it from the very beginning. Okay. I'm trying to blow it up for y'all. Now let's just play. Listen, at this point, we're not gonna stop the video.
Are we starting? We rolling? Are we on? How's my hair? Is my hair cute?
How's mine, Nicole? Am I okay? Well, I'm just a mess. How am I, Brittany? Thank you.
You sure? Because she'll blame you if she doesn't.
I'm good. All right.
All right, good. So my sister is my guest on my podcast today, which could be good or bad, right? Because no, nothing bad. Nothing bad could ever. No, this is a crook.
Can you straighten my glasses for me again, please?
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
why do you do this to your glasses?
Let me tell you how. When I'm watching TV, I lay down and I lay down with my glasses, and that's how they end up being bent.
Okay. All right. Let's try now.
Because I need my glasses to see.
Hi, boo.
Hi, Angie. Here we go again.
Angie Martinez in Real Life podcast.
I just wanted to say that Mary J is 51 years old and she looks damn good. Okay? She looks damn good. And if anybody was to tell her anything different, use a damn lie. Okay? Use a lie. She looks good. And she been wearing blonde hair since I could remember. And she still look good with the blonde hair. She is 51 years old. I mean, y'all, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. So when I see Black women look like this at 50, do you really think I'm scared of a wall? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm just really not. I mean, when you take kids and marriage off the table, what wall are you talking about? You know what I mean? Not all of us want kids. When I think about kids, I think about my vagina ripping, and it's still together. I'm not saying women who go and birth children, their vagina don't go back. I'm saying you still gotta rip it though, and I don't want to do that. I'm scared about that. I already got bad cramps, so I'm just, she looks good. She looks amazing, and I'm pretty sure any man would definitely try to get with her because she looks amazing. But she got self-love, so that's probably why she's single. You know how that goes when you got standards and stuff. You got standards, you be the most single these days. That's how it goes.
First of all, I love you. You know that everybody in the whole world knows I love you.
I love you too.
Sometimes when you have a friend that you're interviewing, it'd be weird because I know so much things that I don't want to say anything that is off. I'd be like, does everybody know that? Or do I just know that? But lately I find you have been very open in general.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see you in an interview and I'm like, oh, she told him that? Oh, she said that publicly?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a conscious thing or is that something that has just happened to you?
I think it's like I have a lot of things I don't need to hide because people want to know, how am I sustaining? How is this possible?
Right.
So there's a lot of things that I don't mind sharing to show them the steps. It's
called living in your truth.
This is one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
So it's like things I don't want people to know. Trust me.
They don't know.
They will never know. Never. I don't care what they think they know. They will never know the shit that I don't want them to know.
Why is that? Is that just it's just too private? It's embarrassing, or
it's just some things you need. It's like a piece of clothing or underwear. You need that protection. You need some covering somewhere. You just can't be running around naked. Mm-hmm. And I think you've been running around with my bra and my underwear on. I don't want to rip off my bra and my underwear. So I need those things.
Please keep it bra all time.
So just to be clear, those things I will not reveal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason I wanted to do this podcast was a couple of things. And as my friend, you know this about me, how much I have changed over the past couple of years due to experience, due to the world changing, my own personal experience. And also we're getting older and we've seen a lot and we've lived a lot and done a lot. And I also feel like during COVID, everybody had to look at their life in a different way. Did you?
100%.
How did that change? What did you like?
I actually went deeper with the self-love. I started finding myself during, the marriage and the darkness and all of that stuff. But once I was out of the marriage. I was so angry because of the divorce and the alimony, and I was angry for a long time. And once I got over the anger, I started going in and loving on the child, loving on little Mary, spending more time with her, letting her be a kid, letting her run out in the backyard, drink whatever, eat whatever she wants to eat. And during the pandemic, that's what I did. Like, I was by myself a lot in my backyard.
Now, y'all know what I'm about to say. Okay, Mary is 51. A lot of people want to judge her and say, well, you should have been doing that. You should have been doing that. Listen, when it comes to this walk on earth, we all have our growth spurts, and they hit us all at different times. And sometimes it's earlier in life, sometimes it's later in life. But there's some people that just bloom later. And she's having a late blooming moment in her life right now. And it's causing her to elevate. It's causing her to level up at 51. And this is why it's never too late. Like, there are women out here that think, oh, I hit the wall. Like, what does it matter now? No, it still matters, because you matter. And in this conversation that she's talking about right here, right now, it's rooted in self-love. Recently, I did a collective reading, and a lot of you guys were complaining about, oh, I feel so isolated. I feel so alone. Like, I feel like I don't have nobody. I feel like God forgot about me. He hasn't forgotten about you. It's just, you need to really like dig deep within yourself and focus on yourself and focus on the love that you have for yourself, so that you can get to a better place. And it's almost like, I think when it comes to Mary J's situation, if you know anything about her divorce, I'm pretty sure when your finances are in the position similar to hers, it's almost like you have no choice but to surrender. And I think she surrendered to her brokenness. And I don't think she ever did that before. So like she surrendered to the fact that all of this stuff was out of her control. And it wasn't just the divorce. I think it was also things that she dealt with when she was younger. So she had to surrender to all of this pain and hurt and heartbreak, betrayal, deceitfulness, and things like that, all in one. And in order for her to truly start the healing process from her divorce, she had to go back to her childhood. And this is why I'm always telling you guys that, tap into your inner child. Tap into your inner child, because that's where your healing journey really starts. It doesn't start at 51. She didn't get to where she is today because of something that happened to her at 51. It started like way before. And so when it comes to a healing journey, you just may be a late bloomer, and it's okay. Like, even if you're 51, 61 years old, it's never too late to take on that journey with yourself, to heal yourself, so that you can finally move forward and be at peace and be at happiness. And I think that's where she is right now. I did it I would say I started my healing journey, I would say like 28, and she did it at 51. It doesn't matter. Like, it's never too late. You may be late, but you're still blooming. You're still evolving. You're still leveling up. You're still discovering yourself and finding yourself. And it can still be a beautiful thing. And I think that's where she is right now, which is a beautiful place to be. She doesn't seem angry either. I don't get like, I'm angry, I'm mad. And she went through hell with that man in that marriage. And she went through hell when it ended too. So she just seems like she's in a better place with herself.
I drank a lot of wine. I had a lot.
Sun goddess all day, baby. Sun goddess all day.
I was having full conversations with myself. And I just learned to just really get into the deep inner love for myself. That's been making me happy. Like, just freedom. Like, I saw a picture of myself last night from this event I was at, and I was stretched out like that. I was like, oh shit, I'm happy.
Look at her, she's happy. Oh, I love that.
Finally, because I know the steps to continue, because you have to continue to do the work.
Yeah, it's not like one day you become happy and then you're just happy every day.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So that's where I'm at, just loving on Mary. And I hate to sound selfish, but I am right now.
Yes, I just had this conversation with Brittany in the car today because Brittany is in her 20s. She's my assistant, who she's a producer on this podcast. And I remember in my 20s, I was raised to think, oh, we got to be kind to everyone. We got to think about everybody else. We got to do. It was always, or even my own career. It's like, I wanted to inspire people. Everything was like outward going for other people, do things for other people. And I thought that made me a good person. Or being empathetic to people all the time. I thought that made me a good person. And it might have, but you get to a point where you're like, I only got a limited time on this earth. How much of that am I willing to give away to everyone else instead of just waking up and doing what I want to do selfishly for myself?
You guys, I am in this season. And let me tell you something. It feels damn good to be in this season. And what do I mean by this season? This season of my life. Because I understand exactly what she is talking about. Like, when I started this platform, I wanted to be an inspiration. I don't want to be an inspiration anymore. And what I mean by that is I don't want to have to worry about being this image to inspire other people. I just want to be myself. And if being myself means I inspire you, great. If being myself means I don't inspire you, you don't like me, cool too. But I'm at a point in my life where it's just like, I'm not really stressing about inspiring people anymore. And it's because there's no freedom in that. There's no freedom. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you'll see images on social media and everybody's trying to be an inspiration, right? Everybody's trying to be an inspiration, but they're not being themselves while doing it. And so when you put yourself on a platform, or even as a public figure or a celebrity or something like that, sometimes you lose yourself. And so now I get the girls I get Rihanna when she says, oh, I don't want to be a role model. Not because she doesn't want to be a positive representation for women. It's just, she just wants to breathe. She wants to be herself. She doesn't want to have to think about doing everything right every single time. And so Mary is in this season of being selfish enough to not be an inspiration and just being happy and doing what makes her happy. And if it rubs people the wrong way, or if it pisses people off, or if it upsets people, she doesn't care, because she's not trying to be an inspiration. She just wants to be herself. I also feel like with Beyonce's new song called Church Girl, I relate, not because it's church and it's religion, but I understand why Beyonce made that song. I feel like every good girl has to go bad. And what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about go out here and be a hoe. I'm not talking about you got to go out here and sleep with everybody. I'm not talking about that you got to go out here and be a city girl. Sometimes a good girl going bad is you simply saying no. And if people don't want to take your no and accept your no, then you say hell no. And then if people don't want to accept your hell no, then you can tell them to go F themselves, because they're not respecting you and you're standing up for yourself. So what is the problem? Sometimes you gotta go from being the good girl to going bad. And see, the way that it has been exampled, oh, you got to sleep around, you got to be a city girl, you got to take men for their money. No, sometimes being a good girl going bad is you simply standing up for yourself, saying hell no, I'm not doing that, or cutting people off, blocking people that don't treat you well, distancing yourself from certain family that always got something smart to say or something snarkily to say. Like, good girl going bad is like you finally like stepping into your dark feminine maybe, and like speaking your mind more, and not allowing people to overtalk you, downplay what you got going on, always trying to overtalk you and make it seem like you don't have nothing important to say. Sometimes a good girl going bad is just you finally saying, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm done doing for everybody. I'm done being there for everybody. I'm done allowing people to pull on me 1,000 different ways. Family, friends, coworkers, my boss. Like, I'm done allowing people to just keep taking from me. So it's not always like the good girl going bad is, oh, it's this thing where you got to go sleep with everybody. You got to go do drugs, or you got to go commit a crime. Like sometimes it's you saying no and meaning it and standing on it and not folding and not buckling at the knees, right? And not being a people pleaser and not caring, not giving a damn what people think and what they have to say. Because you're a good girl gone bad. You just don't care. You just don't care. So I know what it's like I used to allow people to talk down to me, make it seem like I never had anything important to say. People that try to make me seem like I'm dumb or I'm stupid. And I just got tired of it. I'm like, block, 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 block. And you know what? Go run and tell whoever you need to tell, but you can't come back in my life. You cannot come back in my energy. I'm not sharing space with you. You don't respect me. You just don't. Some people just don't know how to treat you well. There are going to be more people in this world, because I said this yesterday, that don't know how to treat you than there are going to be people in this world that do know how to treat you. So it's best that when you develop this self-love that you are creating within yourself, that you put yourself at the very top of the list for how you want to be treated and how you want to be perceived, and understand that you are the only one that truly matters when it comes to that, because it's not people outside of you. Because I'm gonna tell you now, the world is filled with more people who don't know how to treat you than people who do. So it's best that you get very comfortable with being the bad girl, being bad, being difficult. Who cares? As long as people can't try it with you, they can go try it with somebody else. Just not with you though. Not with you though. They could try it with the girl down the street, the girl at the grocery store, bank teller at the bank, but they can't try it with you though. And they will find you very intimidating when you go from being this good girl to bad. People don't even want to approach you because they don't know how you're going to react to them. It's very interesting. So, something to think about.
Right. And I was like, maybe that sounds selfish of me, but that's kind of where I am. And I'm okay with that. And I've been very mindful of it. This whole reason this podcast happened. I've been very mindful to the fact that we are here for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Just that thought alone. If you wake up every day and be like, I'm only have a limited amount of time.
That's where I'm at.
What do you do with that? Like, how do you live your life differently once you have that realization?
You take care of you. Life is important. It's the most amazing, precious gift we're ever going to get, ourselves. And if we don't treat it like that, we can lose our lives. You know, we can spiritually lose our lives. We could just be the walking dead when we just don't take care of our lives. You understand what I'm saying?
No, but tell me. I do kind of, but.
Okay. Spiritually dead, meaning like you've never been in a bad relationship.
Are you crazy?
I'm sorry, my bad.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
So you're in something that no longer is healthy for you. It's not doing anything for you mentally, spiritually, physically, financially.
Oh, you're walking dead.
You're the walking dead. You're just sitting through it for what?
Yeah.
So you don't want to end up. So we know what that feels like. So we don't not want to end up like that ever again. Yeah. And that's the work that we're doing to keep from doing that again.
To not be the walking dead.
To be the walking dead.
You guys, she ain't lying about that. She is not lying about that. Have you ever been in a relationship where you're just going through the motions? You're not even present. You're just going through the motions. And it's almost like a job that you don't like, but you working it still because it pay the bills. That's what it feel like. And you feel like you are dying inside in some weird way. You feel like who you are is dying inside. I also see this in mothers too. You know, I know we talk a lot about men on this channel, but I see it in mothers too, where they become a mom. And after you become a mom, and I'm talking about first time mothers, of course, like when you become a mother for the first time, it's so evidently clear to you that a lot of people just see you as a mom and that's it. They just think motherhood when they see you, and they don't think that you're still a person outside of that. Like you still have a personality outside of motherhood. And it's like they want to just keep you in this box where you're just a mom and that's it. You're just a mom. you know, and then it's even crazier because not only are you just a mom to them, right? Your kids come before you. So it's almost like people don't even see you no more after motherhood. And I'm talking about for the first time. And everybody want to see the baby. And it's like, damn, like I'm still here. Like hello. So I understand exactly what she's talking about, but I see it in two different ways. I see it through motherhood, and I see it in marriage when you become a wife, when you take on that role and you lose yourself. It's like people just, as women, you know, we have many layers to ourselves. We can be a wife, we can be a mother, we can be fun too. You know, we can have personality and have a life outside of these two titles. And it's almost like within womanhood or motherhood, they just want you to like just be this one thing and that's it. And it's just so they can take from you though. It's just so they can take. It's not so they can like, I don't know, nurture you in your personality, because you still have one, even though you've taken on all of these other titles like wife, mother. So I see that a lot. No, I'm not a mother. I just observe mothers. And sometimes, like, there was a friend of mine that had a baby. And I asked her, I'm like, you know, I didn't just bring stuff for the baby. I actually brought stuff for her. And she was just shocked at the fact that I brought something for her. And I'm just like, I mean, well, you did labor this kid for 20 something hours, you know, and it's like the society forgets that. So like everybody's bringing stuff for the baby, but it's like, well, what about the mom? Like she just spent 20 something hours in labor. Don't you think you should get her something nice? So I don't know. Like I just see that. It's like as soon as you become a mother, it's like you're invisible and people only see you as that and that's it. They don't see you anything else beyond that. So I can see how in a marriage that you've been in for an extended period of time, how you lose yourself. And then you got to add on like a man that may not be the best, you know, like he may be emotionally abusive to you, manipulative to you and things like that. And so the woman that you used to be, you get pushed further down. Like you get pushed further down to where no one sees you anymore. Like they just see wife and mom and that's it. So I get it. Like I see that. And I make it a mission that when my friends have babies or someone that I know, that I'm like asking the mother, hey, how are you doing? Is everything okay with you? Are you good? Do you need anything? This society does not do that. I don't know if it's in other traditions, but in this society, in the westernized society, nobody ever cares to ask about the mother or the wife. You know, like, hey, how are you doing? Is everything okay with you? And I'm not talking about mommy things, or I'm not talking about wifey things. I'm talking about you, you, because you still matter, even though you've taken on these two other titles that are significant roles, very demanding roles. But like, how are you though? You know, like you are still in there. And I think Mary is coming to that realization. Like I think she's coming to that realization, you know, and I think through therapy, I'm learning to organize my self-image. I'm learning that. And I don't have kids, but if I was a mom, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the image of mother, this is the image of wife, and then this is the image of me. Let's not forget me, because she's still here. She didn't go anywhere. Like, yeah, she may have gotten married, she may have had kids, but there's still me right there. And I can't forget about her, because that is the foundation of my self-love that I have for myself. And it's how I'm able to be there for my kids, my husband. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to think like that. And so I hope other women can think like that as well. Like, don't forget about you. Don't, because this society, it's almost like they want you to. They want you to forget who you were before you had kids or who you were before you got married. She still matters. She just looks differently. Like, that's the thing. You grow, you evolve, life changes you, you know, milestones happen, but don't forget you though, you know? And this also includes college graduates. I've seen college graduates, they go off to college, right? And I'm talking about your first year, like when you're a freshman, and you every year it's almost like you lose yourself, and it's because you're getting so sucked in to your goal, which is great, right? But you maybe start gaining weight, you maybe start looking different, or maybe you just neglect yourself completely because school is so demanding. And so even teachers and stuff like that, professors, they just see the student, but like, do they see the actual person that is showing up to class every day, or showing up to class and making sure that they're getting their assignments and stuff done? Or do they just see the student? They don't see the actual person. And I dealt with that a lot. I think a lot of people, college students, they go through a definitely freshman year, like a slight depression, like a slight depression, because you've taken on, first of all, a new identity that's way more demanding. And yeah, you've been a student your whole life, but you've never been a college student. And so people just see you as a college student. Like, they don't see you outside of just a college student. There's another part of you that's still there that people don't want to see, because this society labels you things and that's it. And you need to fit in that. And if you don't fit in that, it's almost like they don't know where to place you. And it's just like, well, she's an individual. And that's why I said in my last live, or a few lives with the bisexual man, I said that this society, the whole being inclusive and all of that is BS, because the reason why they want you to be inclusive is because they want to put you in a category. And on this channel, I'm more for you being your identity, your authentic self. So that may not mean we can put you in this group. It may mean that you're put over here by yourself because you're an individual. And it doesn't mean that we don't accept you. It just means that you're an individual. You just don't have to go in a group. You know, like, I don't know. You just don't have to go in a group. And it doesn't mean that we don't accept you. It just means we don't have a group for you. You're too unique. You're yourself. So we don't know where to put you. I don't know where we're going to put you, you know? And society freaks out when they don't know where to put you. They freak out. They like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, is she mean? Is she nice? I'm frustrated. Is he gay? Is he bi? Like, we got to call him something. This society freaks out every time.
We want to be the walking best version of ourselves at all times.
And there's so many people in the world that are doing that and don't even know they're doing it. They're just miserable and going through the motions of not getting anything, just bullshit, getting nothing in return.
Or chasing
nothing.
Yes.
Waiting for nothing. I've been there too, you know? And now it's just time to want more, want something. Now want.
What do you want?
Love. Love. But love for me first. Mm-hmm. I found that love. Mm-hmm. The love for Mary, I found it. And I will fuck anybody up that tries to take it away from me. Because it's so real and it's so good. And I work for it and I earned it. And I have to keep working on it every single day. Mm-hmm. And it's a job. It's a real job. And it hurts like
I'm
hell.
so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Because I know where you've been.
Y'all, how many of y'all got self-love and you wish a, you know, a BITCH would, or even a ninja? And the reason, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you work for self-love, like, people don't understand. I'm not trying to get emotional, but when you work for it, like, you really put in the hours and the consistency and the nights of crying, you know what I mean? Like, you really, 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 like, put in effort consistently. And it may have taken you years, right? And you're still working, right? It's like you're climbing up this ladder and you're making way, though, with the self-love that you are creating within yourself. And then you got people that want to come in and just try to throw you off because they project their insecurities onto you. Men that are jealous of your success, men that are bothered by the fact that you're educated, right? And you work so hard to build up your self-esteem and your self-confidence in yourself, in the self-love that you have for yourself. that you really will fight people to stay at the level of self-love that you have for yourself because you worked your butt off to get to this level. See, a lot of people fake it. A lot of people fake self-love for themselves, but the girls that really truly work on themselves, and I'm not talking about lace fronts, I'm not talking about makeup, I'm not talking about the lashes, I'm really talking about like that inner work. When you really do put in that work, you really will fight anybody that tries to come in and compromise that, because girl, like it took you a while to even be at this level. Because like Mary J said, she said, every day I work at this. It's not something that, it's not you just love yourself and then that's it. Like, nope. Because see, life tests you. And so you have to pass the test. And sometimes when you're going through these tests, it shakes your foundation. So then you're like, oh, that negative self-talk that you got rid of 2 years ago, that comes back. The doubt and the fear, that comes back. Maybe you had a baby, right? And you done gained some weight, you done gained some stretch marks. And so that comes, those old things that you worked so hard to get rid of, that comes back. And so it's like, you got to like start over in some cases, or you got to work at it again after working on it previously, but you're working on it again at a different level, but you still got to work on it because life throws you curveballs. And so you're like, dang, I just had a baby. I got to work. I got to get back to where I was before the baby, you know? And it's mental. It's mental. It's like getting your mind back. Just like when you go off to school, you're a college student, you're a freshman, getting your mind back to where it was before you were a college student, because that is going to take some work. So a lot of people that graduate college right after, they go through like a slight depression, just like some is more extreme than others, but they go through like a little slight depression a little bit. I see that a lot in college students. So it just takes time for you to like get back to where you were. And it's okay, because that's part of doing the work, because a lot of people fake it. And the only reason I can even speak like this is because I'm actually about it, you guys. Like, for real. People think that you can just pretend. You cannot. You cannot. And the reason why, let me tell you why you don't want to pretend your self-love journey. Because you're a liability to yourself. You're a liability to easily get in a toxic relationship. You're a liability to easily be mistreated by people. And I'm talking about for yourself. You're a liability because you as yourself, you put yourself out there for people to experience, right? And when you come across certain people, they don't know how to treat you. They don't know how to treat you. They don't. So like when you put yourself out there, you got to make sure you're not putting yourself out there in a way that makes you a liability to your self-love or your self-image or your self-confidence or just who you are as a person. So you got to do the work. And then when you do the work, you put yourself out there, and it's like, you're not going to be easily prone to certain things, or even if you bump into an accident, because listen, we make mistakes, right? When you bump into this mistake or this accident, right, you have insurance, right? Because you've been working on yourself. So you're like, oh, I know how to handle this. I've gone through something like this before. I know how to handle this. I know how to protect my energy and deal with this issue and get myself out of this issue or out of this problem because I did the work. You know what? So that's why you don't want to fake your self-love journey, because no, ma'am, like you don't want to get into these accidents with people, right? And then they just crush your whole foundation. And then you got to go back to the little girl, because that's where it originally started. So you're going to start, as you develop this self-love journey, you're going to learn how to protect your energy. And I'm going to tell you now, it's going to involve you being nonchalant. Yeah. Not giving every little thing your attention, because it's some of it's not worth it. I got people right now that they try to like bait me into coming out of character, but what they don't see, this is the thing. People gonna say things about you all day. What they don't understand is the reason why I really don't care and I'm very nonchalant is because I have self-love. I don't care about what you guys have to say. I don't care about what somebody else got to say. I truly don't care. So what people don't understand is you can't just bait me. I'm not going to fall for that. You actually have to get me to care first. That's what they're not understanding. You got to get me to care. And when you don't care, you know, that pisses people off. People even get more mad. Like they was mad enough to try to bait you into an argument, bait you to come out of character, bait you to be something that you're not. But then they get even more mad when you don't feed into it and you really don't care. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. They get more mad when they be like, she really don't care. I don't understand. I thought I was getting under her skin. I just don't understand. And it's because you don't care. They got to get you to care first. Then they got to find out how they can get you to care. And then when they find out the reason why you don't care is because you have self-love for yourself, girl, they screwed. They like, you know what? She's untouchable. We can't even touch her. She's untouchable. You know what? We leave her alone because she's so untouchable. I mean, you can't even get to her. You can't even touch. She's evolved to a certain level, to a point. Like we can't even touch her. She's unreachable. They don't like that, and then they get even more mad. More mad.
And I know where you come to, and it's not a small thing when you say that. Some people think it's just a soundbite or something, like you've learned how to love yourself, but it's a real thing.
A real deal. My life is my baby.
Yeah. You didn't always feel like that, obviously.
Oh no, I hated my life. I didn't know why. I just hated myself, hated my life, hated the way I looked, hated the way I spoke. I hear the sound of my voice and be like, that's me. Now it's like, I need to hear that again. Like, it's just a miracle.
You're into you.
It's a miracle.
You're kind of into you.
Listen, I'm by myself a lot. I be having dates and shit with myself. Like, we going on a date tonight. We're going by ourselves.
I got you, boo.
I
love that, y'all.
You know,
you've been splurging
hanging
too.
out.
You've been buying shit.
Oh, we going in. We buying the biggest chain we could buy. We buying all these boots this week. We don't have, like, it's dope. You know, I've never been like this. I used to be shell shocked, scared of myself. Mm-hmm. That's what we scared of. We scared of ourselves. Mm-hmm. It don't be people. It be the power. Oh shit! Afraid of the power. Afraid of my own power. Mm-hmm. You know that's the case, right?
Yes, I do. Another thing that I think that we do, I've talked to a couple of people about this, is especially people who have been successful in their careers, like spend a lot of our lives, a lot of our lives chasing something. It's like chasing success, chasing money, chasing to get out of a bad situation. Like, do you still feel that?
You guys. Okay. So let me tell you something. I've been talking about this. I talked about this. If you watch my video that I put with Carisha as the thumbnail, the live that I did yesterday, do you know exactly what I'm talking about? When I started this platform, I was chasing all the wrong things, if I'm being I was just chasing things that truly did not matter. When you find love, inner peace, inner healing, all that stuff that you thought you wanted, all that stuff that you was chasing, all that stuff that you thought would make you happy and make you feel fulfilled. Like I had this dream of the perfect closet. And I'm like, I'm going to work myself back to having this perfect closet, like the closets that you see on Pinterest or the closets that you see on Instagram and things like that. I just felt like I had to have this closet. Do you not understand? Like, I'm at a place in my life with my healing journey where I could care less about a damn closet. Like, I may go get the closet, but I'm not depending on it to make me happy, though. You know what I mean? Because I do believe, like, every woman out here that truly is a good woman, you deserve nice things, but you're not chasing it in the same way that you may have before when you thought it was going to make you happy. So now I'm just like, I'm not even chasing that closet anymore. Like, I'm not chasing half the things that I was chasing in the beginning of starting this journey, because I have came to a point in my journey of like self-love, inner healing, and peace that I don't feel like I need those things anymore. And it's crazy. And I think this is why men with money, they don't impress me the same, because there was a point in time where men with lots of money did impress me. And I'm not talking about on some sister soldier, I'm Miss Independent type thing. It's just like, I know money doesn't make you happy. So a man having lots of it, it doesn't impress me. Like, it's, if you have it, it's almost like, okay, this is a resource. It can get me this and it can get me this, like better health care. You know, health is wealth. I can eat organic, you know, like my kids can eat organic, but it's like, that's as far as it goes for me. It's simply, money is simply a resource to me. It's not this thing where I thought it would make me happy. So I'm glad I'm here, and I don't feel like I've reached my highest level of potential within the work that I do, but I'm glad like I'm here mentally right now, you know, even as a late bloomer. I'm like very grateful that I've came to this realization, because now I'm kind of like reprogramming and recentering. What am I chasing? And it's almost like I've been spiritually redirected to chase my purpose and not worry about these worldly things, because I know that it's not going to make me happy. I know it's not going to bring me peace. I know it's not going to bring me the fulfillment that I thought in the beginning of this journey, this chasing success. You know, I don't even look at chasing success the same. I never thought I'd say that. I don't. So it's crazy. I don't know. And I think that's why you see so many celebrities that have the cars, they have everything that a person could ask for, and they don't be happy. They don't be happy.
And into that, are you chasing something still?
Nothing.
Really?
Not a dollar, not a person, not, you know, love is tricky because you can end up chasing and not know you chasing until you be like, whoa, I got that feeling again, that nasty feeling of, I think I'm gonna lose something
Lose
that you never had.
You feel like you might lose the love you have for yourself.
Exactly. So I'm not chasing nothing. It seems like when you're not chasing, everything just falls in your lap. Everything's just coming from here. So I'm not chasing success because I am what I am. I'm who I am for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be running after a dollar or running to do a show or trying to be seen the most. I'm whatever.
Right.
So
isn't that a good feeling?
It's great. I feel so good. I just oh man, shit.
I love that for you. I do. I sometimes have to check myself. I think I definitely have slowed the chase down. I think that has been the most uncomfortable transition for me, because I was always chasing to be inspired, to be on the next thing, to reinvent, to just stay relevant, you know, chasing that type of shit.
Right.
And it took God to sit me down for a little while for me to be like uncomfortable and can't chase nothing, to be like, okay, I think I'm good. And then it turned to like, I actually think I like not chasing shit and just kind of being in the moment and appreciating life and going to sit with my girlfriend and have some drinks. And
I'm sorry, I mean to cut you
no,
off.
please.
You know,
it's giving soft life.
When you get in that place in your life, you look at yourself and you look amazing to yourself. Like you look so boss. Like whatever that, you know, you look so, because you boss now.
Yeah.
You boss because nothing has
control
of you.
Right.
But we weren't boss because everything had control of us. So we always had this look of, and didn't know it. But now we're just like, okay, all right, cool. You coming, you going. So like for real. And that takes work too. You know.
What do you think had the biggest control of you?
I don't want to say it.
I think she's about to say penis.
That came right to my
mind. She's gonna say penis.
Don't you fucking say it.
You know exactly what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Y'all probably could guess the two things that I was thinking.
Oh man!
What is
and those things?
Yeah.
That's why I said it's not easy, because those things are hard. You know what I'm saying?
I know what she's talking about. Let's talk about it. See, let's talk about it though. For real. Let's talk about it. As a woman, we live in a society, everyone focuses on the sexual urges of a man. But women have sexual urges too, especially at 51. Yes. Okay, to my 51-year-olds, go ahead and step to the front, especially at 51. So what she's hinting at is when it comes to the self-love journey, oh, you got to have that sexual urge in check. And see, this is why a lot of women today struggle with their self-love journey. I'm just keeping it real with you. A lot of women struggle with their self-love journey because they will easily give into a sexual urge to a man that they know is toxic. And I'm going to tell you now, the worst men that's out here are men that lay the best pipe. So you as a woman got to get your sexual urges in check. I'm not saying you can't be out here doing your thing, but when it compromises your self-love foundation, that's when you're taking it way too far. And then I'm going to tell you this too. A man can have some good D, but that don't mean you got to lose yourself. Because let me tell you something. It's easier for a woman to go out here and get some D than it is for a man to go out here and get some, So there are so many men out here that want to have sex with you because you're simply a woman. So there's no need in you losing your mind over this guy over here just because he was laying some pipe that you never had before. You can go out here and there's so many men that are just waiting to have one opportunity with you, one sexual opportunity with you. As a woman, I use that to my advantage. That's a leverage for me. Because I know if a man took me out on a dinner date, he wanted to spend time and money on me, I know he want to sleep with me automatically. I'm not thinking, oh, he don't want to sleep with me. He think we just friends. No, he wants to have sex with me. I'm not stupid. But I get to leverage that by saying if that is something that if I'm willing to entertain him, knowing that that's what he wants. So a lot of women, their self-love journey is not that strong because they don't have discipline over their sexual urges. And I don't feel like a woman should just feel like she can't be a sexual being. I do. But you got to learn how to be a sexual being while being in control of your sexual urges and your sexual desires and your sexual fantasies and things like that. Because the way it looks, it's different for men and women. See, men, they don't have control over their sexual urges and sexual desires. So you find them in situations like they cheat on women, or they're out here dealing with multiple women. They're playing women against each other, or their men are being a player, a pimp, or a lover boy, or, they have many different faces. But for us as women, when we don't have our sexual urges in control, it looks differently. Like we allow men to play us, impregnate us, leave us and abandon us, ghost us, get into these relationships like friends with benefits and I want to say sneaky links. It just looks very different when you look at a man versus a woman when we don't have control of our sexual urges. So a man he may go out here and cheat, and then for a woman it may be, oh, we allow him to go out and cheat on us knowing about it, and we stay because the D is good. You get what I'm saying? It just looks differently when we don't have control as a woman over our own sexual urges and desires. It just looks differently. So a lot of times when women don't have control over their sexual urges and desires, they find themselves in situations with men that are not the best. It could be a man that got like 3 baby mamas, and he don't treat the other 3 women in the way that that they should, but you stick around and deal with it because he lay pipe and you don't have self-discipline. You don't have self-discipline over your own urges. And so you give into it. So a lot of these men will try to make it seem like women pick the same men or whatever like that. Honestly, I see it on both sides. I see men out here doing what they do, and then I see women out here doing what they do. And it all comes back to this hookup culture that we're in right now, this casual hookup culture. And no one ever talks about disciplining your sexual urges. And then women, no one ever talks to us about that because we're women. We don't have sexual urges and desires. Only men do, which that's a lie. So the laugh that Mary was giving when it comes to this self-love journey, listen, I know y'all be seeing me with my little wine. I know y'all be seeing with my little wine. Don't think it's just for show. Don't think it's just for show. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't think it's just for show, because it ain't. It's called, this is what we gotta do, because we have standards. And a lot of these men, they ain't talking the way I feel like they should. They not moving the way that I feel that they should. They not telling me what their intentions are. So they don't even know what their intentions are. So why should I give them the time nor the day? I'm not. So I go home. We had a good time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If you're not talking in the way that I feel that you should, then I'm just really here for a good time. That's it. That's it. Catch me if you can. You had me, you lost me. You had me, you dropped me. You had me, you fumbled me. But I'm not staying for a long time. I'm sorry. This was fun, though. This was fun. This was exciting. I had a joyous time, but it has came to an end. You know, when you start having this level of self-love, you know what they start labeling you? A heartbreaker. They start labeling you a heartbreaker because now you're like in this energy, like you'll cut somebody off for real. Like if they really not talking in the way that you feel that they should, you really will cut them off. They think it's okay to go of like more than 4 days without communicating with you. Like you really do cut them off. Like you really don't be like blowing up their phone, texting them, nothing. And then they want to label you a heartbreaker. I'm like, a heartbreaker? If that's what it means to be a heartbreaker, I'm like, well, this was easy to take that type of title, but I'll take it. It's crazy.
People are hard. People can have control over you.
Yeah.
You know, wanting to be loved, wanting to be picked. It's
so
the worst thing.
You think love and that type of stuff have more control of you than you chasing your career or your passion? Because you made Mary J. Blige. That's not a small thing.
Wanting to be loved.
But so you were never chasing, because you are serious about your career. It didn't just happen. Mm-hmm. It wasn't by accident that you became this household name. Like you had to put work into that. So
of course.
But do you ever feel like you were chasing that at any point, or like?
I didn't start chasing until I got married, and things were just turned into shit. And then it was like, okay, I got to figure out a way to get us out of this shithole we in. Financially. Then I started being like, but from 1991 to then, I didn't even know if I was coming or going. I was singing for my life. I was young. I didn't care what I was doing. It wasn't about.
So you were never chasing fame?
No, never.
Or just even success?
No.
Really?
No, because when I got signed.
You guys, this is heartbreaking. This is why I give grace to the older generation of Black women. A lot of them were surviving. Like a lot of them, they didn't, like we have opportunities like chasing success. They couldn't even chase success because they were too busy just trying to make it. And I know what she's about to go into. She's a 50-year-old Black woman. I know exactly what she's about to go into, because the key word was I had to find a way out of, or I had to find a way for us to get out of. And it's like, but you got a whole man, and he not helping you get out of that. And that's why I was saying Black women don't know how to date. We don't know how to pick men that improve our lives. We pick men that make our lives worse, to where we have to get ourselves out of something. And then the burden is placed on our shoulders the most. The man, it just seems like, oh, he could just rely on you. And I know exactly what she's about to say. I have never watched this interview. This is my first time watching this interview with you guys, but I know Black culture. I know Black women in Black culture, and I know how it is, especially when it comes to that older generation of Black women. And this is why I don't like the pick me name. I don't like the mammy name, because a lot of these women, they just didn't know no better. They didn't know no better. They didn't have platforms like this. They didn't have a mother giving them game. It's like I'm new. I'm getting game based off of the experiences that I have, and I just share it with you guys. But like, the game wasn't given to me though. It's something that I had to figure out. A lot of Black women before you was out here trying to figure it out. So I give grace to Black women in that way. Her whole marriage, it sounds like she was in survival mode. So she didn't even have time to chase success. And that's why I'm saying, don't allow these men to manipulate you because you decided to go out here and get educated. Seriously? Seriously? Don't allow them to manipulate you like that. Don't do it. Cause you want to come out of survival mode. It's almost like they just want Black women stuck with them. Like, stuck with limited options. They don't want you to think that you can move around and have options. That's why Black women, we're so stagnant. We're so stagnant because we have allowed this to happen for so long. We're afraid to move around. We're afraid just to move around. Why are you afraid to move around and talk to a man of a different race or a different culture, or go to a different bar that maybe is majority white people? You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just a mixed crowd. And I'm not even saying you gotta be in men's faces. You could just go and have a different experience for one night. Move around. Stop being stagnant, because that's exactly what the Black community wants. If you're not stagnant and you're moving around and you doing for you because you love yourself, they can't take from you. They can't use you. They can't take advantage of you. They can't put you in a marriage where you're trying to figure out and work your tail to the bone on how you're going to get you and your man out of a financial situation that most likely he was the one to put you in it in the first place. I don't know how many Black women of the older generation where a man put them in a horrible financial situation, and guess who had to dig them out of it? She did.
I signed my contract on a washing machine in the projects.
Right.
It was like, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
And the only thing to do was just keep singing for my life. And it was about singing. I didn't even know if I had money half of the times. You know, I was spending so much money. I was just living frivolous and young and ignorant and ghetto and dumb and dumb.
Free though.
And
You were free.
young,
Bad decisions.
Young, dumb, frivolous,
Yeah.
and insecure. Just
So really not free then. Because,
no,
right.
just entrapped with bondage of stupidity.
Mm.
So I wasn't like, oh God, I gotta be the hottest. Puff was like, yo, you gotta be the hottest. Like Puff was always like, yo.
Yeah,
And I
Puff
was
is
like,
driven by that. Puff is always driven by success.
Yes.
He'd say, we've seen that.
Yeah, and he helped me to have some of that, like some drive, you know. I wasn't lazy. I just didn't care about what everybody else cared about. Like, I gotta be the hottest person. I just was. I just was. And I didn't even know what I had built or who I was, like what lane I had opened and who I had become until later. Like, oh shit, like I was young and I was that.
And I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I gotta have it. It came with the job.
Mm.
I had to have a hairstyle. So I did, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was like I was moving, didn't know. I was like,
But it wasn't calculated.
No, it was none of it was. It was just, I was just moving.
Yeah. What do you think is like, you look at your life, you look at your career, and in the theme of like, you know, our time here is limited. What are you like most proud about from out of your life?
This life right here, just finding myself, just this freedom, this relaxation, this not feeling stressed, this not feeling pressed. This is what I'm most proud of. I'm proud of Mary. I'm proud of myself because I've been through hell and some horrible things. And that feeling that I had of inadequacy never being enough, not feeling like enough. It's gone. I am enough.
You are.
You know, and I have to keep working on it because I was in it so much. It was so much self-hatred. And then the self-hatred was so bad, it had people hate me more than I hated myself. So this right here is what I'm most proud. I'm most proud of this
version
growth,
of yourself.
This growth, yeah.
I get that. That's good. You got to a good place.
Yeah, I'm good, and it's work. Like I said, every single day. You know, therapy is not. It ain't. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
you got to keep working.
Oh, I love therapy.
Listen,
I
started like a couple of weeks ago. No, like a month ago. I'd be like, "Well, I'm talking to her again." She's dope too.
Because it's about growth.
Yes,
it's about growth. It's about evolution. It's about getting to know yourself better and all that. I'm all for that. Do you ever think about death?
Sometimes, yeah.
And what does that do to you? Like, and how does that?
I had to do my life insurance. Like, you know, I did get finally
your will and your
all that stuff. And they was asking me all these questions of who you want to bury and all that stuff. I was like, jeez, let me deal with that. Let me face that head on, because I was always afraid, you know, of dying, you know, like of death. Like later in my life, when I was young, I was like, oh, you know, fuck it,
risk it all,
jump off the bridge, whatever. But when I got older,
I'm gonna answer this girl in the chat, Jazz. She's saying how she's traumatized by men. Y'all, how can I fix this? Therapy ain't even cutting it. And let me tell you something, Black people. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell you that when it comes to your health and medical treatment, you are the boss of that. It's not the doctor. It's not what they're telling you. You are. So you get to tell the doctors what type of treatment you want. You get to tell the doctors, first of all, you get to choose the doctor. You get to choose the therapist. So it may be your therapist. Maybe you need to change your therapist because you are hiring your therapist for a service. It's not the other way around. And I'm going to tell you now, I think I went through 2 therapists before the third therapist was better for me. So sometimes you got to shop around for your treatment. Yes, like Black people, we have this thing where we're being serviced and we just accept whatever is given to us. We don't know that we're in a position to be serviced, which means we're the boss of that. We get to tell people where things go. We get to tell people how we want things. It's not the other way around. So that, unfortunately, that's not being taught to us. So whenever we're being serviced, we just accept whatever, right? And then some of us, we don't want to be that Black person, right? We don't want to be that Black woman, but it's like you're being serviced. You're paying money to be serviced. It is what it is. I'm not saying be difficult and unreasonable, but listen, if you have to be difficult because you're being serviced and it's reasonable, well, you paying for it. And I hate to say this, but this is not taught to Black people. It's not taught in Black culture. Like, we're being serviced, we say things like, I'm sorry, or I apologize, or my bad, I didn't mean. And it's like, sis, you're at the nail salon. You're being serviced. You're paying for the service. Stop apologizing. Stop doing that. So it's something that we as Black people do. It's something that we do. So you listen, a Karen, she don't have no problem with being difficult with you when it comes to you servicing her. So why do you feel so guilty? Why is this thing inside where you just feel like you can't say something? You can. You're paying for the service. You're not acting entitled. I could understand if you weren't paying for the service you were acting entitled, but if you're paying for it, you're being serviced. Listen. So Jazz, I'm going to tell you, get a new therapist. And I'm going to tell you that when it comes to being traumatized by men as an ex-sexual assault victim numerous times, I'm going to tell you to stay away from men for a while. And I'm going to tell you to focus on yourself. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Because it's going to take time. Like, this is not something that you rush or that you can easily just get out of or easily get into. It's not. Like, it really takes time. It really takes time. And then I'm hoping that you're trying to get a Black therapist. That's really going to take time for you to come across someone that you really like. So just make sure that you understand that this is a journey. This is a process. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. I'm sorry. It's not. So take your time. There's no clock. There's no countdown. There's just you. Take your time.
I was like, I'm afraid, you know, of dying. I'm afraid of how I'm gonna die and all that stuff. And then I had to do that. And then it was like, let me face this shit head on, because these questions are crazy. These questions are, you know, who do you want to be the person that's responsible? You know, do you want to donate your organs? And Jesus, so
yeah. No, it gets real. It's very real. It's the realest thing to talk about ever, because it happens to everybody and we never talk about it. Yeah. And then we're not prepared for it. We're not prepared when it happens to other people. We're not prepared as we get older in life. And then so we don't ever, like you said, let me look at it head on.
Head on.
Most of our lives, we don't. Most of our lives, we look away. We do our best to look away from that.
That's what I've been doing damn near all my life, looking away and not looking at what it really is. And that's when you get on all that trouble with people, because you see all the stuff, but then you turn away. You see the signs, you see the red flags, and then you turn away because you want what you want by any means necessary.
Yeah, no, I get that. So what happens when you're answering those questions and you decide, let me look at this? What happens? Like, how do you feel? Does it change how you feel about it? Does it?
It gives you, I think it's empowering. It makes you strong and like, okay, I'm an adult. I'm growing up. This is something I'm moving past, because that's a big thing. That's a life insurance and all that.
I just did all that too, and it really freaked me out for a second too. But also losing people, like we've lost a lot of people, and that always shifts you a little bit. And then when we first lose somebody, it's always like, you gotta live your life to the fullest. Yeah, you know, you say that for a week. Yeah, life is short. We gotta blah blah blah, and then you say that for 2 weeks, and then we go back to living the same way we always live. Yeah. So then I had that thought of like, well, if we have that notion of like life is short when somebody dies, can we live our whole life knowing that? Living life like life is short. If we could live every day knowing that shit is not, tomorrow's not promised. But not only when something bad happens to somebody, like every day. Right. If we wake up every day with that understanding of like life is short, then does it change how you operate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it does. But when you say life is short and you got to live everything, you know, you can be reckless with it, or you can live your life with value, like that's what we're doing. Yeah. Life is short, so you do have to take care of you. And if you take care of you, it's long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if you live it like life is short, let me just do all the drugs and let me just do everything wrong. Yeah. That's, you know, this is when you become an adult. Like we're adults now, so we can. Yeah.
And it makes you appreciate. To me, when you think about it that way, doesn't make me want to go be reckless. It makes me want to be mindful and present and grateful. Like if I'm having a great day, if we with our girlfriends what was we the other day? We're in our girlfriend's house watching.
You guys, I want to talk about this. So Angie said, remember to be present. And I think because we live in a time of social media, people don't know how to be present anymore. Like we don't even know how to enjoy moments. We don't even know how to properly create memories. We think creating memories is by taking out our phone, taking a video or a photo and posting it to social media. We don't even know how to be like present and enjoy life for real, because we feel like, oh, we got to catch this moment on video. But the whole time that you're taking your phone out to catch this moment, this memory on video, you missed it. Like, this is why people don't understand why I don't post my life to social media. It's not because I don't want to share things with you guys. But when I'm disconnected from social media, I want to be present. I want to actually enjoy the scenery, people. I love to have conversations with people. And I just like to actually be in the moment. I'm like, I want to be here, you know, and I want to I want to suck in this experience. And I just feel like nowadays, so many people miss that moment. They miss the actual, and I'm talking about the memory before you took the video, the memory before you posted the photo, like that memory before. People miss it. And it's crazy. I've even seen people be in a very special moment, and because they were trying to reach in their pocket or get their purse or their bag to get their phone, they actually missed the special moment. And I'm like, when did we as a society get to this point where we can't even just be present? Not at dinner, not like we're on our phones even at dinner. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So I have started practicing discipline, like just being on my phone less, because people, I'm gonna tell you now, if you suffer from like anxiety, or you're going through a depression, or you're going through like, like mental health issues and things like that, the worst thing you could do is be in your head more than you are in the present future. This is why there's so many depressed people these days. And we hear these bizarre stories about how they just lost it, especially now. And it's because there are a lot of people that are depressed. They do have anxiety. They have like some mental issues or things that they may be battling with mentally. And because of them always not being present, they're in their head more than they are in present moment, that it actually triggers it more. It triggers your mental illness more. So if you are going through mental illness, or like, you're just going through a hard time mentally, I'm going to tell you to stay off of this way less. More. Use this way less. Stay off of it way more, because you're in you never escape the turmoil that is going on up here that nobody knows about. That's the thing. Nobody knows about. So I'm going to tell you to disconnect so you can free yourself. And especially when you're going through something heavy mentally, I'm going to tell you to disconnect and free yourself. Because if you're up in your head when it comes to your depression, you're up in your head when it comes to your anxiety, you're up in your head when it comes to other mental issues that you may be dealing with up here, and then you're on your phone and you're still dealing with whatever issue that you got up here, it makes it worse. Oh my. So I'm going to tell you to turn this off. If you got to throw your phone in another room, y'all, I've done it. If you got to leave your phone in your car, just like I used to do that with my weight loss. Like what I used to be so obsessed with weighing myself. And then I started leaving my scale in the back of my trunk. If you got to get you a regular, and that's another thing. You don't have to have your phone in the bed with you. You can actually go back to living how you were living before phones existed and have an alarm. Yes, a regular alarm clock. But I'm telling you, when you disconnect from this and you make it like a regular thing, you'll start to feel so much better. So being present, getting out of your head, being more in the present, it's going to help with your mental health. I know I sound crazy. Y'all. I know I sound crazy, but I'm telling you, you got to free yourself, and it's going to take you having some discipline. And listen, when you're going through this transition of developing discipline with your phone, leave it in the car. Yes. Just go ahead and leave it in the car. Because I'm going to tell you now, I'm not the type to like get out of bed, go to my car and get my phone out of my car. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm in the house. It's nighttime. It's dangerous to go outside anyway. But like, don't leave it out. But of course, like put it up, like leave it somewhere people can't find in your car, and have a night's rest. Even if you just did this just a few times out of the week, start. And if you're starting this, right, just start small. You don't gotta do it every night, but maybe do it 2 or 3 times a night to free your mind. Because It's going to help with your mental. It's going to help with your mental issues that you may be dealing with, which we all have. Okay, we all have them. So just, get a regular alarm clock. Y'all, I got a regular alarm clock. I should show y'all what it look like. It's one of them alarm clocks that you see at them hotels. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm so serious. Like, I really do got a regular alarm clock. And then, because I'm the type to hit the snooze button, I am that type, right? I done put the alarm in my bathroom. So then I have to get up out of bed, go to my bathroom just to turn off the alarm, y'all. Gotta do what you gotta do. Listen, when there's a way, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I have a solution for you. Okay, leave the phone in the car. Get you an alarm clock. You can go on Amazon. You can go to Walmart, and it's like $10, y'all. It's not even that expensive. You ain't got no excuse. It just, this is what doing the work. This is what it looks like. This is what it actually looks like. But listen, you can't do the work without discipline. You cannot do it without self-discipline. So disciplining yourself enough to leave your phone in the car, disciplining yourself enough to put that alarm clock in your bathroom or by your bed, whatever the case may be, it's gonna take you choosing to do that for yourself because you love yourself enough to do so. And listen, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel so free. You're gonna feel so free. And then you're gonna be like, oh my God, I have so much time on my hands. That's the crazy part. I'm like, dang, I got a lot of time on my hands. I don't know what to do with myself.
And one of the awards, the Oscars. Yeah. That's a whole other conversation. Mm-hmm. We're watching the Oscars, but I was having a great time. And that I don't really need much more than that in life. Like,
Angie, me too. That's where I am. You know, that's where I am.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not fun, I don't do it. If I don't think I'm gonna have fun, I'm not outside. But if it's with my friends,
right,
it's a good time. I know what it's gonna be already.
Yeah, and you go outside.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be at that place in my life where I don't miss that. I feel like for a lot of years I missed it. A lot of years I was chasing shit, running, trying to do things, and I miss so many great things that were happening because I didn't just be like, yo, this is really dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really dope. That's a great way to live every day. Like,
right, like this moment right here.
This is great. Like, I couldn't be.
Am I cursing too much?
No, please.
This is phenomenal. We look at where we are. Look, Angie. Look at. I'm sorry.
No,
crying.
tell me, please.
Look at. Remember me when you first met me? Mm-hmm. This is not the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was always strong. You was always, well, to me, you was always my strong sister. Like, you was like a rock. And I was like, gosh, I need her, you know, because I wasn't that, you know?
Yeah.
But what was amazing to me was to find out that you wasn't, you know, as strong to you that you thought.
Yeah.
Strong like my Angie not Angie. Yeah. So this is a blessing to have come full circle.
Mm-hmm. And I don't feel that need to act strong all the time anymore.
Oh,
I used to be like that, right? I was the strong friend. So I will always be like, I gotta be strong. But fuck that. If I don't feel it, I want to be able to say that, and it's cool. Like, who cares? Like, what is that? Doesn't.
And I love that.
Yeah,
I love that you're that now. I love that because I was like, why is she so hard? Why she won't tell? That's what we here for.
Why she don't say?
Because I'll be coming to you like, oh God, oh this happened, Angie, this happened, crying and shit, and you be like, you all right? You just got to do this. You got to do this. I'm like, what you mean? Why are you? I need a hug. I need sympathy. I need you to be on my team right now.
You get on my level. Get on my level right now. Get on my level. No, man, I don't feel the need to do that at all anymore. You feel that? Like, I feel like we can.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful for that.
Me too.
Because that's what we're here for.
I love
and
that.
You need that
for sure. God will sit your ass down. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I thought I had it all figured out.
Are my glasses crooked? Have my glasses been crooked?
No.
Oh, I did.
Fix it.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
You know what's so funny about this conversation? When she said God will really sit you down. I thought I had it all figured out. She ain't lied. Not one. She didn't lie about that at all. I just talked about this yesterday. you know, people don't understand why I actually prefer to do commentary on a over beauty content and stuff like that. Is because I get to hear and I get to see how my mind evolves. Like everyone talks about your glow up when it comes to your outer appearance. But like with me doing commentary, y'all, like I'm not trying to get emotional. I'm not trying to get emotional, but I get to see how I evolve mentally, and like you guys get to see how I evolve mentally. And it's just that is like way more fulfilling than, I'm sorry, like a makeup video or a hair video or a styling video or even a skincare. Like you guys get to see my mind evolve. Like you can, I hate to say it, but like you can go to anybody else's platform and get a makeup tutorial or a makeup or a beauty video or something like that. But like here, you get to see the girl glow up mentally. Like you actually get to see what it looks like when you do the work on yourself and how it changes your mind, because I don't feel like that's really being talked about like that. I think everyone focuses on the physical aspect of a glow up. And I'm really big on glowing up like 3D, you know, full circle, 360. We're talking about your mental, your spiritual, your physical. You know, it started physical and then it trickled down to spiritual, because I started seeing how what you put into your body, your temple, it affects your spiritual journey. And then like not being so attached to my hair. That was another thing. A part of my journey was cutting my hair off. I've cut my hair off 3 times now. Not being attached to this beauty standard, this expectation to have hair on my head at all times, and it must be down my back at all times. Overcoming that, and then like also the mental, like being so naive. I was so naive when I started this channel. I was very naive. I really thought if you're nice to people, people gonna be nice to you back. There are just people in this world that don't want to be nice. It don't have nothing to do with you though. That's just how they are, right? And there are gonna be people out here that don't like you because you are nice. It's crazy. So it's like I like doing commentary because I like for you guys to see me at a place mentally and then see me evolve from that place mentally. And I think that's way more important than a hair tutorial. And I'm not shading the girls that give good hair tutorials, because there's some girls out here that's killing it with makeup and all that. But I think it's important for girls to see this side too, and not just the other side where it's all about the physical. So yeah, I think that's so important, you guys. Like, even with my commentary tonight, I'm probably going to watch this back 2 years from now, and there's probably some things that I would change, just because I always want to be on an incline. Like, I always want to evolve to the next level, and not in a way where I'm trying to be some boss. No, like in a way to where I'm never stagnant. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't like that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all, being stagnant is the scariest thing ever. And, you know, I think another part of this with Mary is that after her divorce, she's no longer stagnant. She's probably been stagnant in this marriage for years. But now that she has ended this marriage, she's free. And so she can move around again. She can move around. It's almost like, y'all, I'm telling you, at every turn, they're going to tell you as a Black woman, it doesn't matter what age you are, you cannot feel liberated. You can't. Not with your hair, not with your skin, not with how you think, not with your education. At every turn, they're going to tell you, no, you don't deserve liberation. No. Because if you as a Black woman have liberation, who can we use? Who can we take from? Who? Because that's the thing. And that's why it has taken us so long to free ourselves from these generational traumas that we have, that we picked up from the previous generation. And it's because they don't want us to be liberated. They got to have somebody they can use as a muse. And then they'll take from us and then not even give us credit. They'll take from us and use us for all of these things and not even want to replenish what we gave them. And this is why I want more Black women to be selfish, because when you adapt the selfishness in yourself and for yourself, you're liberated. You are. Like, you don't care about what people have to say about your skin. You don't care about what people have to say about your hair texture. You don't care what people got to say about how you choose to wear your nails. Like, you just don't care anymore because you're liberated. Like, you truly are free. You have freed yourself. And they don't want Black women to free themselves, because then they can't use us. They can't use us as like the stepping stone to get to where they want to go or where they want to be or how they want to be. They can't use us the same when you free yourself in this way. This is something to think about, because I'm noticing that. I'm like, why is it that they don't want us to feel empowered? Not even in the slightest, not even with a college degree. That is crazy to me, but I get it. It's because when you are on your high horse, or if you out here feeling yourself and stuff like that, it's like, she feeling too free. And we can't suck her for everything that she has if she's feeling liberated and free and inspired. We can't use her the same way. They only want us to be inspired by our struggle. They only want us to be inspired by trauma, but they don't want us to be inspired by our true selves. And that's why, like, it's important that you really do take yourself out of the survival mode, because I'm telling you, you're going to release yourself from these shackles, and they're spiritual shackles that have been passed down through generational trauma. They want you to only be inspired by making it, barely making it, or being inspired by a struggle, or you got to overcome. But they want you to take that and use that as inspiration. But using yourself as inspiration, like your true self, not struggle life. We're talking about your true self. They don't want you to experience that because they can't control you that way. And that's what this is all about. Leverage, control, power. They got to have somebody at the bottom. If a Black woman is out here feeling too free and liberated, she not even, you know what? She not even going to care about the system that we live in. She not going to care about all of these external things because she's feeling internally free. That's the thing. Like, she's not going to care about this guy that is colorist and don't want her. She just not going to care because she has freed herself. It's crazy.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I just want to finish that thought, because I think maybe this will happen again in life, right? So I used to think, I would say maybe like 5 years ago, I thought I got shit figured out. I know all the things that I need to know. I'm going to share with the world. I'm going to do a talk show. I'm going to inspire people with true stories. And then God sat my ass down and was like, bitch, you don't really know everything. You don't got it all together. You need to soften up. You need to be in the moment. All the lessons I needed to learn to get me to where I am now, which is like to me, a better version of who I was 5-10 years ago. And so I hope 5 years from now, I'll be an even better version. Do you believe that for yourself?
100%.
You do.
I think the most important part of this journey, like this self-love journey, you have to go through an ego death. Oh my God. You got to go through an ego death. You know you're truly maturing as a woman when you go through an ego death. And sometimes when spirit is trying to force an ego death on you, we fight it. That's how we end up in like triangulations, or we end up in competitions with our girlfriends, because we should just have an ego death, right? And move on with our lives and move forward and progress in a healthy way. But your ego is telling you, no, I need to show her that's my man too. Or I need to show my friend that I can outdo her. When you go through an ego death, you don't even care. And then when you go through an ego death, you can admit that you're wrong. You can admit that you have fallen short. You can face that shadow side that you have, right? You can face your insecurities. You can face your flaws. You can face these parts of yourself that you don't really like and that you hide. You try to, at least. You try to hide it from people. So when you go through an ego death, though, all of that is just, it's like water under the bridge. Because you're going through like a real transformation within yourself. So like the first thing to go is your ego. It is your ego. You are no longer afraid to hear things that may trigger you because you're willing to face it. You're not afraid to hear things that trigger you because you're like, oh, I can face this because I had an ego death. But a lot of times we can't face the things that trigger us because of our ego. We won't allow ourselves we kind of block ourselves off from feeling certain things because we don't like how it makes us feel. But when you have an ego death, you allow yourself to feel it because you're not afraid to face yourself because you had an ego death. And now this big ego that you used to have is gone. It's gone. And then when you go through an ego death, right, and you heal from that, right, people can't trigger you the same. Oh my God. Oh, they can't trigger you the same. They can't come at you sideways and try to bait you and get under your skin because you went through that ego death. You healed from the ego death. So you understand people gonna always have something to say. People are always gonna try to trigger you. But you had the ego death. So it's just like you are at a point now where you don't care. You don't care. You don't care. And yeah, Spirit, he had to sit you down and he had to get you together, right? Because that's just, we all make mistakes. It is what it is. We all make mistakes. And so when you go through an ego death, you start to realize, you know what? I can be wrong. I can be very wrong. I can be very loud and wrong. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid to be like, oh my God, I'm loud, I'm wrong. No, I made a mistake. And you know what? I can even take accountability because I had an ego death. I apologize. I didn't mean, my intentions may have been in the right place, but it didn't come across fair to you. Like I can say and have conversations like this, where before, when my ego was so big, I hated admitting I was wrong. I always thought I had it all figured out. I always thought I knew and didn't know nothing. And you know what? When you have an ego death, you actually accept the fact that you don't know it all. You don't have all the answers. And there are some times where you are very wrong. And it's okay because you know what? You're a human being. It's okay. You don't have to get it right every single time. And it's okay. Like sometimes you do make mistakes. But because of your ego death, you can face these issues and these problems that you have within yourself to a point where you accept who you are. You accept who you are now. And you're not afraid to accept these parts of yourself because you had an ego death. You had to put your ego down so you can actually accept yourself. Because sometimes our ego is attached to our insecurities. So a lot of times people don't want to admit that they're wrong because they don't want to look stupid. It triggers their ego in the worst way. People hate looking stupid. They don't like looking stupid. I don't, because I feel like, oh, if I'm looking stupid, right, to everybody else who don't matter, I'm learning from this stupidity. I'm learning from this ignorance. I'm growing from this ignorance. So it's nothing for me to like own it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I know when this situation may occur again or a similar situation may occur again, I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to be wiser. I'm going to have understanding. So I don't mind looking stupid for a hot minute and evolve and grow beyond that, because that's what growth is. Like you go through an ego death and that's it. That's it. You don't care. People gonna say something. And yeah, it involves you humbling yourself. It does. It involves you humbling yourself just a little bit. I don't want to say humble yourself so much to the point, because I feel like having an ego, that's rooted also in your confidence. But see, it's all about balance. It's all about balance. Because yeah, you do need to be in your ego when it comes to your confidence. You do, especially as a Black woman in this society, in this world, at every turn where they're trying to tell you, you don't deserve more. You don't deserve better. We don't like your skin. We don't like your hair. So it's like, you don't get rid of the ego. You learn how to work with your ego in a way that actually benefits you. So when you step into spaces with preferences and you got 4C hair and you have darker skin, you're in your ego, sis, and you should stay there, right? Because you're in a space where you need that ego, you need that confidence in yourself. But when it comes to being wrong, you kind of put your ego down, and you know what? I'm wrong. I apologize. I was wrong about that. But when you step in certain spaces, right, where you may need to assert yourself, you may need to boss up, you may need to show people like, hey, you can't play with me. You step in your ego. You step in your ego, but you also know how to code switch, right? And self-reflect and realize like, okay, you know what? I was actually wrong about that one. But you don't stay, and that's the thing. I think you don't stay in either space. You kind of like get in, you go in and out, you go in and out. You know, it really depends on the situation, but it's not, oh, you just stay this way or you just stay this way. You go in and out and you find the balance. You know how to work a room now. You know that when you're in this room, you need to be in your ego. But you know, in this space or in this room, you don't need to be in your ego. You don't. It's not necessary. You don't need to utilize it in this space. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. But over here, right, you do. And it's, I guess the two rooms would be therapy. You don't need to be in your ego in therapy. But when you walk outside as a Black woman, as soon as you leave that therapist's office, you definitely need to be in your ego, because the world is going to try to tear you down at every single turn, from your hair, your skin, hell, your height, your body. You know how they are. They pick us apart. So in the therapist's office, you're out of your ego, right? But when you leave her office, you're back in your ego. And then in other spaces you may share with certain people, you don't have to be in your ego. It just depends. You got to learn how to read rooms. You got to learn how to be in this energy and be at your highest level of self-confidence. And then you can rest in this space over here. You don't have to be at a 10 when you're in a space where it really don't require you that much effort. You could be at a 5, sis, or 4. But here, 10, here, 4, 5, you know, and then you just switch back and forth. You find your balance. And this conversation goes for the girls where you feel like you got to humble yourself. No. Where you feel like you got to dim your light. No. Because some of your friends that you have around you, right? They're intimidated by you. They're intimidated by your light. They like the fact that you play it safe. They like the fact that you did a little bit, make them more comfortable. Like, have you ever been around a friend and you know, I don't know, maybe you get certain attention or people are always congratulating you on how talented you are, or how successful you are. And you can obviously read your friend's energy and it makes her feel uncomfortable. And it's almost like you feel guilty for embracing the fact that people are complimenting you on how bomb you are because they can see your light and they appreciate your light. But you dim yourself down because your friend, she feels uncomfortable around you because people recognize the light in you. And you may not even see it in yourself yet. You just haven't awakened to it yet. And this is why I'm saying find the balance. Yeah, go through an ego death, but not to a point where you don't know who you are. Like, you don't know how bomb you are. You don't know how amazing you are. You don't know how great you are. Like, you don't see the beauty that everybody else sees. And I'm not saying just the physical, because beauty is not just physical. It's spiritual, it's mental, it's intimate. Beauty is not just physical. This generation, this society, it loves to focus on just the physical, but beauty, it has so many layers. And I hate that people only care about the first layer. They only care about the outer appearance. So remember, like, don't humble yourself to a point where you're dimming your light. If you're good, you're damn good. It's just, it is what it is. If you look good, you just look good. It is what it is. And you need to accept that about yourself. Because I struggled with this. There was a girl that I was mentoring and she started caring about her look. She went her whole middle school career, high school career, and even college where she just didn't care about her look. She got dressed up for the first time And she just simply put on, you know, a little lip balm, some blush, some highlighter, a little mascara, you know, simple stuff, right? And she just put a little effort into her look. And she was like, Yoni, I felt so uncomfortable. Like everyone is looking at me. People are being so nice to me and things like that. And she didn't know how to accept it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to know when to be in your ego. And if people are complimenting you, accept it. You look good. You know what I mean? Like, you deserve to be seen and treated as such. So don't dim your light. And yeah, when you put yourself out there for the first time, it's going to feel a little weird. It's going to feel awkward, honestly, because you're not used to that. But don't dim your light because it makes you feel uncomfortable. You actually deserve to be seen in that way. You do. So she was a little shy, and I'm like, there's nothing to be shy about. It definitely feels awkward. It does. It does. Because you're when you are slept on through middle school, you're slept on through high school, you're slept on through college, right? You're not used to attention like that. You're just not. You're not. And then you're not used to the attention so much to the point where it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you super uncomfortable. Sometimes your ego is the one making you act if you've been ambushed and have internalized all the insults and negative things people have projected onto you. So true. So true. Thank you for the super chat. That is so true. Yeah, and some of y'all's friends gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make like, oh, you don't need to have friends, but like if they are not, if you can't sit down and have a conversation like this with your friend, y'all in two different places. You're on a spiritual journey. She may be on a worldly journey. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not big on trying to change people. People gonna be who they are. And you get into this habit of trying to get your friend to get on the same bandwagon as you, right? She'll fake it just to please you, right? But you really about it. And then you still hanging around this girl and she's not like, y'all just not equally yoked anymore. And it's okay because she's choosing a path and you are choosing a path. And some people just cannot go with you. It is what it is. They just can't come because they want to be more worldly. You want to be more spiritual. You're on this healing journey. She's on this guy that she's seen or that she's talking. You guys are just in two totally different places. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like sometimes you may be able to reconnect with an old friend after they go through something, right? After they go through their transformation, their enlightenment. And let me tell you something. If she's really a friend, she'll match you on that spiritual level that you're currently on or that you have evolved to. And she'll come back around and be a better friend. And then you guys can have a better friendship. Like sometimes you may have to disconnect from a friend for a certain season and then reconnect for a new season. And then you guys are in a better place. I've even seen this with relationships. You may have to disconnect from that man and reconnect in a new season. An old season had to die. So you can start a new season, a better season with this friend or this man. Or even your mother. They don't, relationships, that's just how they are. You have seasons and then you have out of season. You have fads and trends and they come and they go. Sometimes relationships are like that.
I think we just keep elevating it, but we keep elevating when we keep going through the pain of transition, like of change. Like there's going to be something to shift you into the next thing higher. When you don't go higher, you don't move. Nothing. Everything just feels like one thing.
Walking dead.
But when you get ready,
y'all, I actually do believe that there are people out here that are low vibrational. So there are people in this world that are lower than you. But it does not mean that they can't rise to your level. It's just some people choose to stay low energy. They do. They tend to stay around people that are negative, belittling, mean. Like it's not really about lifestyle. Like it's about spirit. And some people choose to be in their shadow more in their light. They don't even want to find balance. So no, I'm not about to do that fake positivity where it's like, oh yeah, like no one is higher than the next. No, there are some people out here that are very low, and they're miserable, and they want you to be by their side. And here you are trying to like break free and vibe higher. That's all I see in the Black community. They don't want Black women out here raising their expectations and their standards. They want you low because then they can have easy access to you. So no, I'm not about to do the fake positivity. I'm sorry. Not on this channel. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. I'm not doing it. There are just some people that vibe lower than you. And it's a choice because everyone has a choice to rise above. That's why it doesn't make you it doesn't make you better than them. It just, you made a choice, they made a choice, but they are lower than you. It is what it is. They're choosing to be though too. It's a choice. It doesn't make you better because you are vibing high. It's just, we need to make that line very clear because it's the reality. Some people choose, like I know homeless people right now that they could go and get a job, but they refuse not to. They like to drink every day. They like to do what they do every day and they don't see an issue with it. And some of them want you to go out there and have a drink with them. Trust me. I know. Listen, get out here and start giving to your homeless people and see what conversations and interactions do you have with them. A lot of them can put themselves in a better position, but they don't want to. So some of your friends are the same way. They want to vibe low. They don't want to vibe on a higher frequency. It doesn't make you better because you're choosing to. It just could be a matter of time. So don't fake positivity. I'm sorry, because that's the thing. It goes back into being rationalizing to a point of delusion. Like, this person is not good for you. They're not trying to elevate. They're not trying to reach a higher frequency in life at all. They're good with being low vibrational. It is what it is. And so you're trying to rationalize, but I'm not better. But you are trying to be better though, and they're not. That's why I see it as fake positivity, because they're not trying, you are, and you're actively working, trying to be better, right? Genuinely, and they are not. And so you need to discern, and you can't do that if you're rationalizing to a point where you're trying to make it seem like, they're not that low, but they are. It is what it is. And they have the choice to change that. And some don't.
Ready to shift that pain, some kind of trial is coming.
Yeah.
That you have to feel to get through.
And what about age? Do you think that, you attribute some of that to just age and growing and us being older and wiser, or you think experience more than age?
I think experience, because if you don't have experience, you can't grow. I don't care how old you are.
There definitely are older, right? People that have not evolved.
Yeah, let's not even do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just wonder why we fear age so much. And I don't know if it's like fear of death or just fear of changing how we look, or like, what is the fear of age that
I guess being afraid. Let me see.
Right? Like, what is that?
I don't know.
What are we afraid of?
I don't know. I know what it is. In our industry, of what people think, how they just toss you to the, okay, she's old now. We're not gonna play on the radio. Right. Or she's washed up. Forget this. Just forget that. Yeah. So
fuck that.
Right.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah, but I become like, I don't give a fuck. You like me, lump me. Yeah, I'm 50. I'm 51.
Yeah.
And you can buy my music, play it or not, because I have a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to just be content with that, content with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And that keeps you growing, and that keeps that keeps the youth looking at you as an inspiration. And that's when you become an inspiration, when you can just relax and be content in your thing.
And then they still fuck with you.
And they fuck with you.
The worst is when somebody's fighting it so hard that they're not comfortable in their own skin.
Oh,
it's not good for any age, by the way.
No.
If you fighting your truth of who you are, where you are in life, like, just no age that it's ever fly at any age.
Right. And it's hard. Everybody's a different journey. Everybody don't have the wisdom that you or I have, or gone through, or did, or wanted to go through what we went through or the pain of change.
Yeah.
You know,
the pain of change.
Yeah.
That feels like a song title.
It is.
Is it?
It's coming soon.
First on the pod. Do you have a bucket list? Is there something you want to do while you're here on this earth? Anything left? Because you've done a lot of shit.
Well, I definitely don't want to ever jump out of a plane. So by
the way, me neither. I don't understand that.
Oh, nothing really. No.
Really?
I think
what an amazing thing to be able to say.
I mean, I bought every shoe I could buy. You know what I'm saying?
There's no bucket list.
I mean,
thing you want to do before we're not here anymore.
I don't know. I can't answer that right now.
If you had to say one thing about what your purpose is, because it's probably changed. Like I used to think my purpose was one thing, and I think it probably evolves, and it may continue to evolve. But right now, today, 2022, what do you think your purpose is for being here?
Wow, the first thing came to my mind is example. Just be an example. Just be, and and
let that be.
just be. Yeah.
And let that be, and let that be enough.
Yes, that is enough.
Who's given you the best life advice ever? I know you probably have so many, because you know a lot of great people, and people love you. So, but the first thing that comes to you.
The first thing, and I always say this, Shaka Khan.
Really?
She said, "Get out of your own way." So I was like, "What does that mean?"
What does it mean?
When I was younger, I was like, "What does that mean?" Stop being your worst enemy. Vocally, business-wise, like stop being afraid of you. Move scared Mary, so Mary can get through here.
I just want to say, like, I recently came to the realization that you're gonna have way more enemies on this earth, hidden enemies. People that try to take you off of like your purpose, your healing journey, your self-love journey. You're gonna have more enemies than you think. And I'm sorry, but they could be your own mother, your own family member, your sister. She don't want you to love yourself. She don't want you to have better for yourself. So you're gonna have these people, I call them hidden enemies, frenemies. And it could be your mother, it could be a sister, it could be a brother, it could be a cousin, it could be a friend. And they're going to try to keep you away from you actually taking on this journey. That's why a lot of people don't get to experience this, because they're not aware, like they got hidden enemies. The ops, girl, they out. They don't want you to love you. They don't want you to find yourself. They don't. And so when she said Shaka Khan told her, you have to, was it Shaka Khan? You have to get out of your own way. You can't be the ops, sis. You can't be on their team. You got to be on your own team. And this is why self-love is so important. You cannot be afraid to let go of friends. Distance yourself from family, or even go no contact with family. You got to be on your team, and you can't be on your team when you talk to yourself negatively, you doubt yourself, you get in your own way, you self-sabotage. So you can't be the opposite. You can't compromise yourself, because you already got hidden enemies, and they lay dormant. They lay dormant. They tend to pop out when you gain some type of success in life, or they feel you may be doing better than them in some weird way. They may be pocket watching you, and they see that you're able to spend more money than normal. They lay dormant for a very long time, and then they come out, and they can't hide their intentions any longer, because you have reached a level of self-love within yourself that triggers them, triggers their insecurities, triggers every little thing in them. And so they can't even hide themselves. They can't hide their face no more. They can't be dormant anymore. They have to come out. So I'm going to tell you that when it comes to this self-love journey, you need to be on your own team. You can't be a part of the ops. And you need to, like I said earlier in this live, you're not gonna be treated in a way that you deserve more by random people. You're gonna have more people in this world that treat you horribly. They don't know how to treat you well. And it's not always horrible. Sometimes it's just people just don't know how to treat you. They don't know how to treat you. You're going to have more people in the world that just don't know how to treat you than people in the world that do. So because of this, you got to be at the very top of your list on how you know how you want to be treated. And you got to treat yourself in that way because you matter. That's it. Because you don't know, these people, they may be on your team, but a lot of the times they may be hidden enemies. The ops. You don't even know. So you gotta be at the top. You gotta be the captain of your team. You gotta put yourself first. And this is why I'm always saying, you are the celebrity of your own life. You are the celebrity of your own life. So don't ever forget that. There should not be an influencer, a YouTuber, a celebrity that you put above yourself, that you idolize more than yourself. You just shouldn't do that. It should be you. Because you the captain, you number one in your life, and you come before anybody else. So make sure you're at the top.
That's how I took it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it might, people have different ways they, comprehend things. But for me, it was like, stop being afraid of you.
Mm. Yeah, Shaka. And Shaka, depending on what day you get her, she could be.
She was nice that day.
She was nice that day.
she's always nice.
Oh no, she's always nice. But she's feisty. She's Shaka Khan. She should be
super feisty.
So there's this quote from Steve Jobs. Well, he wrote it in first person. He asked himself this all the time. If today were the last day of life, I want to do what I'm about to do today. He would ask himself that every day. No. Mm-hmm. So what would you have done today?
If today was the last day, I would be home.
You wouldn't be here with me?
If I knew this was it, I'd be home praying. I'd be home quiet. Just get myself centered, get my spirit centered so we can transition. The hell with all of this. Yeah. This is nothing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
There's no cameras. There's nobody watching. It's you and God, right?
Me and God and getting ready to, spirit man transition.
Do you have something that you believe? What do you believe happens when we're not here anymore?
I have no idea.
I never thought about it?
I thought this. I was watching this, I'll make it short. This documentary on these aliens, right?
We talked about that. Tell me about the aliens.
Scared the shit out of me. I had the lights on in the daytime after it went off, and they was talking about the reptilians and the light beings and the grays and the other something else. I said, "Are we the light beings?" Because we are light when we leave this body. So I just think of it as we are light, and we're this one big light all over the world. That when we start leaving our bodies, we brighten up the world. But we're spirit people. So imagine us doing that as spirit people, like lifting ourselves up spiritually. Mm-hmm. And then everybody becoming this big light. And that's what we're doing right now. We're being a big light to somebody at home.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the intention for sure.
Yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see.
So you see yourself right here in present time, in life doing that. And you see that for yourself.
Yeah. I think we take it with us. I think whatever we are goes with us. So this is why we got to get it right now, because this is nothing. But that thing that we building up every day to have a good day is got to be right, to go to the right thing. I don't know what that other world is, but you want it to be the right thing, right? Do you want to go to Hawaii and live on the beach? What are you know what I'm saying? What's in your head?
Yeah. I don't know yet. I have to think about that. You have something?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell everybody where I want to go.
It's the panties and the bras. Leave it on.
I need my
leave your panties.
I need my Gucci underwear and Gucci panties.
Well, I hope I have many, many years with you.
And
then too. And I love you so much.
You will. I'm not going.
Listen, you see how Mary and I want you guys to learn the art of being transparent, but also leaving some privacy for yourself. Because that is what I do on my channel. I have learned over the years that people will weaponize your transparency, but at the same time, you do want to be real with people, right? But there are bits and pieces of yourself that you don't have to share with everybody. You don't have to share it all. You can actually leave some things for yourself, because I think that makes you more personable. I think that leaves something for people to find interesting about you or want to know more about you, because you don't give it all out. You don't, because you see, you giving yourself and giving your all to complete strangers, they're not going to value you in the same way that so you keep some things to yourself. Like, you don't share everything. You don't give them the whole formula. You just give them just enough. And we live in a time where we overshare a lot. Like, especially today, like, we just overshare, and it's okay to just leave some things to yourself. And I think when you leave some things to yourself, it's protection. You're protecting yourself. So it's okay. You don't have to be so transparent, because I used to think I had to be super transparent to be real. And it's like, no, there are parts of yourself that you can just keep to yourself. You don't have to share it with anybody. Not even a best friend. You can just keep that part to yourself. And I think that's when you really truly grow and you evolve into womanhood, when you know you don't have to show everything. And I'm talking about even your body. I dress way more modest than I have ever in my entire life. Ever. And it's because I'm learning, like, I don't have to show everything. I don't have to show it all. Like, I can actually preserve some things for myself to enjoy, like lingerie or a nice little panty and bra set. But I don't want to share it with everybody else, because this is just for me, like, and it don't have to look like bras and panties. But just my moral of the story is, just leave something for yourself. Like, it's okay. Like, something you don't share with your kids, something you don't share with your man, just something you don't share with your best friend. Like, you just leave that little bit of stuff just for you. And it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't. Some things you just do for yourself. And I think that's like an extension of self-love. I think that's an extension of self-care, preserving yourself, prioritizing yourself, like all the self-principles that you can think of. I think it helps you with that when you just have some things that are just for you. You don't share it with everybody. And I think as Black women, we're taught to share with everybody. We got to share space. We got to share beauty tips. We have to share our body. We have to share our resources. Like, at every turn as a Black woman, like, we're always being told to share. But I want Black women to start practicing, like, you don't have to share it all. You can leave some things to yourself, and it can be just for you, whatever that is. So keep your bras and your panties on, I guess, according to Mary J. It's kind of funny that she said that, but you don't have to share it all. And I'm gonna tell you now, the world doesn't deserve all of you, because, like I said previously, there are more people in this world that don't know how to treat you versus there are people in this world that actually do. So why give them all of you? They don't even deserve all of you. So, some people say this is the mystery woman. I mean, if you want to use that, that's great. But, like, for me, like, people say I'm secretive. I'm not secretive. I just don't feel like the world on such a large stage deserves all of me, to see all of me, to experience all of me, like, because they're not going to treat all of me with care. And I just don't want to give them that. And it's my choice. This is how you protect your energy.
Anyway, I love you. This is great.
That was good, right?
Yes.
It was so good.
It's always
good.
It's always good. Angie, you're so amazing at this.
Thank you, baby. We're going to be here when we do our thing.
Oh, man.
Thank you, my love.
The people we're going to...
No, stop.
Angie always getting flowers from me.
Yeah.
When I first met you at the radio station, you, like, women was always funny with me, And when I met you, I was like, I love her. I never, women, they always be on some whatever. That was then, you know, now I can handle it better. But you was just on my team. And I was like, she's so pretty and mean and all that shit at the same time.
I was never
That
mean.
fucking eyebrow.
You used to always say I was
damn
mean.
vein. I was like, look at her vein in her eyebrow. She's fucking dog mean. But you were so nice to me. And
So
you
funny.
had my back, and you immediately you look like you was ready to fuck everybody up for me. I was like, that's my friend, and look where we at.
Look where we at all these years later. I'm very grateful for that, by the way. I'm very grateful for that.
Oh my God, that was such a good episode. Listen, you guys, like, it's a choice to be modest. Like, you don't have to be modest. It's just my choice. I feel my most confident being modest and leaving something to the imagination. Every woman is going to be different. I'm not your mother. I'm not here to tell you how to dress. Okay. I'm here to tell you to be an individual. So if you like wearing less clothes, listen, that's you. That don't got nothing to do with me. Whenever I use examples, it's just an example. But at the end of the day, I want you to find out what works for you. That's the whole purpose of this platform. It's not for me to be your mother and tell you how you should do and be. Like, it's for you to discover yourself. So that's why I don't like giving you rules. Like, yeah, I'll give you game and you take what you want to use and then you throw out the rest. Or you may come back to an older video 2 years later and be like, you know what? I could take more of this video than I could have taken 2 years ago. So it's about you taking what you need and throwing the rest in the trash. And this is why I don't understand why people get upset about my opinions. Because I'm not trying to force feed you my opinions. Like, oh yeah, you need to take on everything I say. You need to live your life like this. Like, no, you need to figure life out. And life has a funny way of teaching you how to figure it out. Like, and it's going to take some experiences, some good ones, some shitty ones, some ones that are weird, awkward. It's going to take those moments. That is what's going to help you figure it out. And I hope my commentary can help you understand certain parts, but life is life. You're not going to understand every part of life by watching my videos. And I don't expect you to. Actually give you the freedom to explore and to find. And if you want to be out here and you want to wear a bra and panty on social media, that is on you. That's your choice. Because there was a point in time where I did it. So I just don't feel the need to do it now, today. I've grown past that. So I keep blocking them and they just keep coming back. And I don't understand what the problem is. I don't. So y'all know I have a treat for you guys, right? Because for those that stayed, please give the video a thumbs up. You know, I have my treats towards the end of this video. I'm like, you stayed with me this long? Oh, I have to share with you this treat that I came across. And it was very interesting. You know, social media is a lot of things, but sometimes you come across things you're like, oh my God, somebody with some common sense. Oh my God. Somebody that understands. Thank God. You know what? I haven't given up on humanity. You know what? I have not given up on men. I have not given up on people. Okay, I'm trying to pull it up here. Just give me a sec. You guys are waiting. Give the video a thumbs up. Oh, here it is. Are y'all ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay. Let me stop. I'm being extra. Okay.
This is a PSA to American men. I don't know if you realize that you're the only group of men in the world that literally argues about going 50-50, okay? Other groups of men understand that they are to be the main providers and in many times the sole providers financially in the relationship when it comes to bills. Okay. For some reason, American men don't grasp this concept and they argue that they should be going 50-50 on the bills. I once had a talk with one of my African friends and brought up 50-50. He laughed at me and he said, 50-50, that's not a wife or that is a roommate. You see, other group of men understand what respect in their house looks like. It's stability. Okay. Y'all need to get with the program, man. Y'all behind. Come on.
He said, y'all
So
behind.
this is a PSA to American men. I don't know if you realize that you're the only group of men in the world that literally argues about going 50-50. Okay. Other groups of men understand that they are to be the main providers and in many times the sole providers financially in the relationship when it comes to bills. Okay. For some reason, American men don't grasp this concept and they argue that they should be going 50-50 on the bills. I once had a talk with one of my African friends and brought up 50-50. He laughed at me and he said, 50-50, that's not a wife or that is a roommate. You see, other group of men understand what respect in their house looks like. It's stability. Okay. Y'all need to get with the program, man. Y'all behind. Come on.
Listen, this man said, y'all don't even know what respect in your household looks like. It's called stability. That is a read. Oh my God. I saw this. I said, ooh, I was speechless. I didn't even know. I'm like, oh my God. A man that hasn't adapted this westernized feminist stuff. You know, like a man that understands in order for him to have respect in his home, it requires him to provide stability. These men think that they deserve respect just because they lay in some whack pipe. I'm just like, sir, you're not even laying the pipe correctly. I mean, my sexual urges, they're increasing with age. They're not going down with age. But when you are offering stability, I still have a higher level of respect for you, like high, because you're offering that stability, which means I extend my respect, even when the pipe ain't piping like it was. So I just don't understand men and their logic. It just don't make sense. That's why I be telling y'all, a lot of these men, they be angry and broke. They be angry and broke. They be broke and then they're angry. They be so upset. Leave the broke men alone. Leave them alone. Please leave them alone. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And women are starting to come to the realization that we don't have to roommate with you. That's like roommating. We don't even want to roommate with girls. Why would we want to roommate with you? You know, like the last time I roommated with a girl, it was years ago, and I hated it. Could not stand rooming with a girl. So why would I want to roommate with you? Doesn't sound appealing either. I don't want a roommate. That's the thing. I don't want a roommate. So I can't go no 50-50. I don't even know what 50-50 is. And then I'm going to tell you, you go 50-50, I wouldn't have no kids. Because kids really change that dynamic. When 50-50 can be reasonable and it can work, there ain't no kids involved. But see, men can't have it both ways. Listen, if you want me to go 50-50, I can't have your kids. You better go get a surrogate. And she could take my egg and we can work something out. And then even when the kid get here, I'm gonna need a maid 24 hours because I'm not about to be out here nurturing and healing and doing all this extra stuff. And then we splitting things 50-50. That don't even sound right. That don't sound right. And then you just come home and you sit on the couch and you think that's what it means to be a man and be a father and be a leader. Well, I'm going to tell you now, when you're a man, You lead with your pockets in this world. You don't, and it's just, it is what you do. You lead with your pockets because your money, it offers you shelter, food. That's what it means to survive. You need money to do that. Now, the more of it that you have, I mean, that's better. But if in this world, you need enough. You know what I mean? And I don't think they understand that. I don't think they understand that. I don't see the point of rooming with the man. I cannot go 50-50 with no man. I would rather live by myself. I don't even like roommating with other women. I could understand if I had a roommate girlfriend or something like, I don't even have a roommate girlfriend. I don't want roommates. So I want a man in my life that's going to come in and be the leader of my home to where he can take certain burdens off of my shoulders so I can actually focus on the tradition within the home, like keeping it and nurturing the home, keeping it organized and changing out certain colors with the seasons to help with your mental health, our mental health, our children's mental health. I can't do all of that if I'm splitting the bills with you 50-50. So I'm more traditional. It is what it is. I've seen a housewife and I've seen a independent woman. And I'm going to tell you now, I don't want to be either. I don't want to be. And the reason is because women, and I warn you guys about this all the time, when you take on that role of being the housewife and only the housewife, and you don't ask questions about bills, finances, your retirement, you get screwed over. Because men don't plan for that type of stuff. They don't plan for your retirement when you're a homemaker. And I've seen that. And then I've seen the strong, independent woman that works the high-paying job, and she's independent. She's doing everything. She's doing it all. She bringing home the bacon, tired, losing her beauty, losing her edges, losing just, she's so stressed. Her beauty is aging faster than it should. So I'm really about finding that balance. I would love to put out projects, books and things like that. But I ain't out here trying to be no boss babe. You're not about to get me with that one. A lot of women set themselves up with that one, and they try to be the boss babe, the Miss Independent, and then they see how much work that takes while trying to raise a family, trying to nurture a family. It's a lot of work, and a lot of women are starting to wake up to that. It's 2 jobs. It's 2 and 3 jobs. So you're trying to be this boss babe. You're trying to be this mother that's nurturing and loving, trying to be this wife and this sexual being that your husband likes to where he won't cheat on you. Like, you got, girl, you a girl, I can't even say it, but you like one of those workers that work at night crawlers. You got to be that. Then you got to be a wife. You got to be a wholesome wife, because you got to be a freak in the sheets, but out here in the public, you got to be wholesome, right? So that's what, 2 jobs. And then you got to be the boss babe. And then you got to be the mother, right? And the mother has many different titles: maid, cook, like making sure kids take baths at night, reading them books. Some of y'all homeschooling. I mean, like, how many titles does one person need? And then these men just come home and then that's it. And you think I'm going to respect you living like that? So no, it's not happening. Like, that's why a lot of these men, let me tell you something. A lot of these men fault the feminist thing that was going on. We can do what men can do. I never believed in that, because I'm like, that didn't make sense. I played on an all boys basketball team. I couldn't do everything that they could do. It's just the truth. But I noticed that when it comes to these conversations and things like that, a lot of men have adapted the feminist mindset that I hate to say it, but we pushed it on them, right? And so at first they were fighting us, and then they stopped. And when they stopped fighting us on it, we should have been concerned. And the reason is because now they have figured out, well, if she can do what I can do, we can go 50-50. Or if she can do what I can do, that requires me to be less of a man. That requires me to be less in the home. That requires me to do less in the home. That requires me to be less in the home, because she can do what I can do now. It's crazy. So be careful what you out here saying and promoting, because it may be it may be backfiring on you. The same way I tell y'all not to make fun of Black men and their sexuality, because that may backfire on you. You got to be a smart woman. You got to think 10 steps ahead. If you make fun of a Black man and his sexuality, that's going to put him further in the closet. That's not going to bring him out the closet so he can feel more comfortable about being out in the open. So it's not smart of you to make fun of him and push him further into the closet. Make him feel comfortable so he can come out. So belittling his sexuality or making fun of his sexuality is just not smart. Same thing with this. Saying you can do what a man can do. Okay, well, he's going to adapt that mindset. And then, you know what he's going to do less. And then have you do it all. Because now you got to do the motherly roles. You got to do the wifey roles. And you got to do what he do. It was a setup, y'all. It was a setup. So be careful what you out here promote. I'm just not here for the 50-50. I don't want a roommate. I want a man. There's a difference. I don't want a roommate. I want a man. And I want to be able to do what I need to do in the house and not have to worry about, working for another man. And I'm going to tell you now, if I got to go out here and work for another man, I'm going to respect that man more than I respect the man in the house. Because I have to. I'm being forced to. If Bob called me and say, hey, I need you to come in on your day off because I need you in here. And since my man is requiring me to go 50-50, I got to go see what Bob wants because I respect him more because I got to go 50-50 with you. So I'm going to go holler at Bob on my day off. Oh, you want me to cook you a meal? Oh, I can't. I can't cook you a meal. I'm sorry. I got to go check on Bob because Bob is calling me into work on my day off. They don't like that, y'all. They don't like that. I'm like, well, Bob is writing my checks. This me on the phone talking to my husband. Bob, he writes my checks. I gotta go. Bob is calling me into the office. What do they want? Like, seriously? So of course I'm gonna put Bob above my husband because my husband is requiring me to pay 50-50 on the bills. And because Bob writes my checks, who do you think is getting more time, more respect? Bob. They don't like it when you put it like that. So, Bob, I'm coming in. I'm coming into the office. I'll be there. Give me 15 minutes. And then I'm going to have to tell my husband, I guess you're going to eat takeout. Don't have time to cook your meal. So, and then they get mad and stuff like that. But then they want a woman to do 50-50, be a single mother, and then still be a wife. It's not realistic. And it's not something that a woman can truly sustain at a level that's healthy. So it's just not happening. And so this man, he said it, he read them to filth when he said, I'm not going 50-50 in my home because I want respect and I lead my home with my pocket. It is what it is. So people are going to be mad, but I'm just like, listen, a woman can't give, if she's working for someone, she has two men or two bosses in her life that she got to answer to. And I'm going to tell you, she's going to have to prioritize the boss that's paying her so that she can make ends meet. It is what it is. So men be jealous. That's why a lot of men where you be like, oh, I got to go to work. I got to go do this. They be jealous because you're giving that job, you're giving your boss way more attention than you're giving him. But I don't get how they can blame women if they want us to go 50-50. It don't make sense. So on that note, I'm ending this live. And that was my last little bit. Please give the video a thumbs up. I'm going to leave this live open so it will be available. And let me know what else you guys would like to see. Okay. Girl, they be jealous of the baby. They be jealous of your degree because your degree got you the job and then your job got the boss. The men be jealous of everybody, girl, because everybody getting your attention because it's needed over him. And then want to talk about, oh, but we going 50-50. Well, which is it, sir? Like, do you want my time? Or do you want to give my time to this man or this boss that I have over here so I can feed our family? Like it's women are saying you need to choose because it's not happening both ways. On that note, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night.